Hi everybody, thanks very much for popping by here to the den. Here we have the Frosthaven scenery update, which is the basic scenery for your game. Now if you're brand new to this, what it's all about, well, in your game you have tokens, cardboard tokens that represent obstacles, barrels, crates, trees, logs, etc. This is the way of making those as 3D components, all right? So you bring life to your gaming table. So out with the cardboard and in with the 3D parts, okay? In front of me are one of each of all the elements that are in the basic scenery part of the set, and they're all painted. And we're going to swing the camera around in a minute and have a look at that. Now, this is only a small selection. The actual kit itself comes with 255 pieces. That's a huge amount of stuff, all right? And that'll replace all your cardboard components. Obviously, you have progression routes from there. You can get walls and doors and even more walls and different types, so you can really enhance your gameplay experience. And then you can take that and get tiles that replace your map tiles and build up your own world. So there's lots and lots of progression that you can do with this. But the starting one is to replace the cardboard tokens for everything that's in the game. These are all painted. These will give you some idea. They do come unpainted. And will require a little bit of assembly, nothing much. The trees, for instance, are just in two halves, so they'll need to be assembled, but there will be a full painting and a tutorial to give you some tips and tactics, and there's a lot of stuff on the internet. Anyway, less of my rambling, let's get that camera switched around and dive straight into what we've got in front of us. See you in a moment. Okay, so here we have all the parts for the scenery. Now they are represented individually. There are a number of multiples of each of these parts, but these are just sort of one, maybe two of the components. Now there are 255 pieces in this collection. That's something like 1.5 kilos of printing and God knows how many hours. So we're going to just go through some of the elements. Now there are a huge amount of pictures that I've taken that are available on the Google Drive, so there should be some Google Drive links under this video, and you can go over there and have some close-up pictures. But having a look at the sets now, once again, a lot of this is represented in the Gloomhaven set, so there will be an update pack that teases out the elements that are in addition to this. But what I've got to say is, you know, moving on from Gloomhaven to Frosthaven, there's a lot of rocks. We seem to have snowy rocks and cave rocks and things like that, and it's, you know, they are rocks and rubble and a couple of bits of rubble, so there's some variety in there, but a lot of rocks. And of course they've got the sort of winter theme. Now to sort of capture the winter theme, you know, you're going to be painting and so on, but like I say, there will be a tutorial on how to get that sort of winter look to the trees, for instance, and to the stalagmites and to the ice spikes and so on and so forth. So we've got our traditional bits and pieces there. We've got a sarcophagus, we've got some pickets, wooden pickets, we've got some tiles that are going to be, once again, there will be a Google Docs thing that will tell you the amounts of them. There is some nests, there's some chests and bits of it. Now some of these are slightly new designs. We've got a sort of new design of the stairs there, which is a really nice elaborate staircase design, which I quite like on there. And we've got some of the ones which sort of these not cyberpunk, is it? Sort of, you know, the sort of the metal floors and things. Now you will find that these tiles, this thing, this part is the conduit piece of scenery. It is mounted on a tile base, and the reason being is that if you upgrade to the tiling system that is on offer, then you will find that these will slip in. But once again, you'll see what I mean by that when you have a look at everything. Now, one thing we've done on this occasion is these overlay tiles. Now there are a number of overlay tiles that look pretty fun, and what I've done on this is, in the previous versions of Gloomhaven and so on, they've followed a particular pattern. There's been some water ones, there's been some lava ones, and there was some sort of generic ones as well. There's some wood ones. Well, they don't appear in Frosthaven, so the best method really was to do a tile with a little bit of relief patterning on, so you can paint those yourself, or alternatively you are able to apply this sort of glossy, icy, snowy sort of environment. Once again, that will be in the teaching thing, but there isn't water tiles and that there's no requirement for, because it's not actually in the list of components for there. So, and then we've got the satchels. Now the satchels is kind of about 25 of those, so they're obviously part of the game. Once again, at this moment I can't comment on the game because I don't have it. So there we have some satchels things. Now, what I will say, and the other pièce de résistance, as I say, is the glowing orb. And I've sort of gone out on all bases on the glowing orb. So you have the sort of claw handle for the glowing orb, and the glowing orb itself is what I cast. And I've started to, and you will find that actually this will be glow in the dark. This will, not that you'll play the game in the dark, but it does really add quite a nice dynamic to it. It really does. So, and that glowing orb just sits. The glowing orb is one token, but we've gone a bit overboard on that, which leaves us to the resins. Now, there are a number of components here that aren't printed with what they call the normal PLA, that really needed printing in resin because you don't get the resolution. You can't print everything in resin, the price we got. And the resin prints are things like the altar, for instance, and also the crystals. They'll come through on resin, and also the ice spikes, so some little spikes there, they will be printed in the resin. And also we're going to do the sort of the sort of wooden column, what's put down as the ship's mast. You couldn't have a massive mast, you just needed some wood column to represent that. And also yeah, like the nest and so on. There's a lot of detail in the nest with the bones and things, so that will be cast in resin as well. So the pits, once again, you'll see that sort of icy green pit. Well, that's in the painting tutorial as well. So looking ahead, just to let you know, when you do get them, you'll get the resins still mounted on the print base, and that's the reason it protects them during transport, and they literally do unpick. But I'll show you some of that in the painting shop. But they literally pull away, and have a look at the painting tutorial for that. So they'll come mounted like that, and you will unpick those. In addition to that, so here's some pre-cast things. There won't be dark green ones, they were just test pieces. We'll put those away. But because they're pre-cast, going to be cast, they're going to be slightly different. So we're going to sort of make them this sort of whitey colour with some sprinkles into them. So they're all going to sort of look at that sort of colouring, okay? That's for the glowing orb. Might try some very faint blue ones, but there won't be a consistent colouring system. They'll be sort of pretty much on that, but won't be super consistent throughout there. The other thing that you're going to have to bear in mind, and once again, if you are buying into this kit, you do need some sort of modelling facilities. Not a great deal, and it's part of the fun, you know, it's part of the hobby, is putting the scenery together and so on. And I know that there are some other vendors that will sort of sell you bits that are sort of what we call table ready. Not too sure that there is that, but this is what I do. So you're going to get your trees. You're going to get 3 trees like that, okay? You will need to assemble them. Now they're printed flat because when the test beds were going, we were trying to print them with support. It didn't make a very good job, I'll be honest with you. It was easier to print them in a flat stage, and you literally will glue them together and then paint them. It's a lot easier, a lot tidier, and that's how they'll come. So minimal prep on those, and they will freestand in as well. We're going to put them on a bases, but decided against that, moving away from sort of the bases, and they can be freestanding on there. And they will come in your packs there, on there. So, like I say, 255 pieces. The doors that are here are standee, or what we call standee doors. Now you can upgrade your doors to the sliding doors, but they come with the sort of wall pack. So your next step up from this would be to get the variety of different walls and surrounds that go around your map tiles. And then on top of that, once you've done that, if you really want to go into it, which a lot of people do, is to get the actual tiles themselves. But there's in separate videos, so you can have a look at those. Okay, so there you have it. 255 pieces to enhance your Gloomhaven, Frosthaven experience. If you are looking at for the Gloomhaven set, there is a separate thing for that. Vast majority of this does go across to there, so you might want to get a Gloomhaven set if you've got Gloomhaven, and then you can get an upgrade pack to bring you up to this. If you're just into Frosthaven, then this is all you need. So, wow, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, send me some PMs if you need any questions answering. Take care, enjoy your gaming. Bye for now.